Well, welcome back, folks. This is another, I guess, how-to um, video. We're going to be removing some of the stock gunk. We're going to be cleaning up this Conrail SD80MAC N scale. I've already went ahead and removed the required assembly parts, the shell from the chassis, the trucks, the worm gears, and the decoder. This engine, I replaced the factory light board with a Digitrax DK163K2 decoder. Very simple installation. You just use some Krypton tape over the motor mounts and make sure everything is right, and then it's just a swap out. Very nice decoder and very easy to configure. Uh, also, this decoder houses a special function on function 6. Reduces the throttle setting voltage by half of what it would normally be, so it's really good for switching. So moving further on with this video, you can see that this engine is now apart. I have the frame and the sill. Are two pieces, which how Kato does their SD80MACs. Also, I removed the fuel tank and I put all the required bolts and nuts and spacers in the fuel tank so I wouldn't lose them, which is a very important thing to do. You always want to make sure that you don't lose these small parts. And an eyeglass screwdriver Phillips would be a perfect tool for this job. Here we see the trucks. It's always good to disassemble a project like this with many parts in the order that they've come apart on or how you've done it. Here you can see the worm gear and the dog bone, or wishbone as they call it. These can be pretty stubborn on getting out of the motor frame, the motor where it connects to the flywheel. Sometimes the clips can stick, and sometimes they can spring back and you can end up losing little parts, so just be very careful when you remove them, but it's fairly easy enough. Also, the chassis comes apart in two pieces. You obviously have to remove the fuel tank in order to get to it, and I used a small flathead screwdriver just to pull the motor clips apart from each of the chassis metal frames. I also went ahead and labeled it with a non-permanent marker, and you can see here RF, and R stands for the reverse side, and F stands for front. Also, you want to make note of what side the metal chassis is. Here you can see ES, which is engineer's side, and engineer's side front. And on the other side I put CS, which is conductor side front and rear. On top of that, I went ahead and did as I did in the other videos, which is a nail polish remover acetone with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. It doesn't take much, and I just used a soft bristle toothbrush and just scrubbed all the contact points and scrubbed everything down with, like I said, very minute acetone and rubbing alcohol mixture, and everything seemed to come clean, and I had good results with the other engine that I've done. So I'm gonna put this engine back together again. Also, here you can see the brass connectors, which provide power to the trucks. So it's also important to make sure that they are in a safe spot and not bent. Well, I went ahead and put this engine back together again, and put it on the little shelf layout, and we've got everything back together again, got everything cleaned up, and we're gonna give this a try here. Again, this is a Conrail Kato N-Scale SD80MAC number 4110. I'm using a NCE power cab control system on this little layout, so I'm going to go ahead and program everything in and start this engine running. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to get this unit running here, and it's a very quiet running engine now, very precise on the speed, and I'm going to use function 6 just to show you folks how good this unit really is. And this is speed step 1, and it matches beautifully with the other engines that I have, especially the Atlases. We're just going to go forward a little bit, stop and reverse a little bit quicker, just to show you folks. The motor is completely quiet now, and it runs absolutely spectacular. So I'm going to make it a point to do this on all my engines and new purchases, just for the fact of the reliability issue and the enjoyment of it. If there's any questions, be more than glad to put them below, and I could try to answer them the best that I can. There you've seen a little shot of some of my previous trains that I showcased prior. So thanks a lot for viewing, and hopefully see some more videos soon.